Today we are going to cover the basic variables and basic Xcode layout. So let's just open our Xcode. We are going to create a new project, choose the base template, and let's name our product name sample app, and please ensure that interface is storyboard, language is selected as Swift, and just leave everything as it is. Click next, save the file wherever you want on your disk. Just give it a second, it will open up. See that the top bar, everything on the top is called the status bar. Here you can see the play and pause button and status of your app, selection for where you want to run your app, so you get all your simulators. So let's just change the simulator to iPhone 13 Pro. Here on our left we can see the navigator pane. Here you can navigate into various files: the source control navigator, symbol navigator, find navigator, issue navigator, text navigator, debug navigator, breakpoint navigator, report navigator. And on your right we have the inspector. Here we change most of our properties, and we have here attribute, inspector, identity, quick help, history, file size, connection, inspector, etc. So let's just get started and jump right into our main.storyboard. And so today we are also going to cover variables and constants. Let's just jump back into view controller. Delete this comment right here. The comment is basically does nothing in your code. It is just ignored by the Xcode, and it is mostly used to organize your code, to know and to remember where you have kept various things. So to initialize or tell Xcode that you're creating a variable, we start with the word var. Then we put the name of the variable, in my case it's x, and put an equal to sign, put the value, and in my case it's gonna be 3. We are gonna create another variable y and going to assign it the value 9. So let's go in override function view did load. So this is the place where it gets triggered when the view loads up. So here we are gonna type print, and in the braces we are gonna type x, and we are gonna make another print statement and gonna print y. So when we run our app and the view gets loaded, we can clearly see in the debug area. So the debug area is the bottom part. At the bottom under your code you can see, and there's printed 3 and 9. So we can also apply arithmetics, for example multiplication, x into y, and we can use divide, we can use plus, addition, and we can also use subtraction. So as our view gets loaded up, we can see all our answers have been posted, and we have been printed in the debug area. You can see that the y plus y, so 9 plus 9 is 18, the value of x into y, so that will be 27, and x minus y, so that should be -6, and so everything is correct, but x divided by y is 0. That is a problem because of we are using integer data type. So in integer data type there are no decimal places, so basically it's just integers, whole numbers, and doesn't have any decimal places. So when we divide 3 by 9, then it gives us answer in decimal places, but because we are using integer data type, it doesn't show us any answer. It shows us 0. Or tell Xcode which data type we are using by putting two dots and integer. I'm gonna just type int, which is short for integers. Let's play, and nothing should change because we are just showing the data type which Swift had already allocated. And Swift is smart enough, so we don't need to specify a data type every time. So we can use another data type called float, which has decimal places. So when we divide x by y, it's gonna show answer in decimal places. And we can see that there is 0.0 and 0.33333 and so on. So there is also another data type called double, which has more decimal places than float. It is usually used for scientific calculations. And when we run our app, we'll see that our divide statement prints even more decimal places. As we can see, and there is also a data type called string. So string just holds a text data type, and if we try to use string, it's not gonna apply any arithmetics or arithmetics, so it's gonna show us a bunch of errors. So we will have to delete all of these. It's just gonna print 99, y plus y equals to 99, and now we can try x plus y, so that's gonna be 39. And here we are, our answer is 39. It has been printed in the debug area. So there is also another data type called array. So an array can hold many values inside of square columns, square braces, whatever you want to call them. So in my case, I'm gonna put a few values, integer values. So array has a limitation that you cannot put different data type values in one single array. So all my values are integer, and if we wanna call a single value from an array, we need to use a second box columns, we can say, and put a value or the place where that value is located inside the array. So in my case, I'm putting 1. It is gonna print 4. Coders, we usually like to use all our digits, so the first number is 0. And if we're gonna see, and if you want to check it out, you can see if I print x0, then it's gonna be the 3 value, the first value I put in. We can also add these values and apply different arithmetics to them. As you can see, I have used x0 into x1, so that's gonna be 3 4s are 12. Our answer is gonna be 12. Let's check it out, and we've got it right again. So let's create another array of string. So we can add different string values. So just remember that string or the text you want to add always has to be in the double inverted commas. So please remember that anything you put in has to be under those double inverted commas, or it won't be considered as string and the Xcode will show us an error. So we can try printing it up again and X4, and it's gonna give us the value 1 2 3 4 bool. Okay, so we can also use a property called count. So a count is just the number of items in an array. So if we print x.count, it's gonna print the number of items that are contained in the array. In my case, it's gonna be 5. So a tricky part is that the dot count prints and starts counting from number 1 instead of number 0. And so if we just used x and in the bracket we put x.count, then it's gonna show us an error because we don't have 5 values in an array. So we will need to apply mathematics and subtract 1 from it. And as you can see, when we subtract 1, it's gonna print the last value, which in my case is bool. So these all are variables. So variables can be so the values of variables can be rewritten, changed, appended, etc. So if we want to add like a new item in an array, we can use the command append. So x.append, and we're going to choose the new element one, and we can put in the new element which we want to put in the array. So like I'm gonna put append, and let's try printing it again. So print x and bracket x dot count -1. This is gonna print our last value which we appended, which was append. Actually that's a confusing naming strategy, but so the last string value which was append. So let's delete all the extra code we have added, and gonna clean the view.controller and view did load everything, just delete everything. So in the next video we can just start from where we left. Our last data type is boolean. So a boolean can only hold 2 values, either it can be true or either it can be false. So I'm today not going to use boolean, but in the next video we are going to create an app and use all these data types, all these various data types, and we're going to have some fun with them. Thank you for watching. Please get subscribed and follow and check out other videos.